W.T.F. Nation Radio
is in the house.
There are many simple things in the world. Shovels. They are all different. Gardening shovel. Unloading shovel. Children's shovel. But there is also a different shovel. We use it when we come to the position. In short time, it helps us dig a trench which saves us from bullets. If a tank will pass over the trench, there is a high probability that it will not cause any harm to the soldier. We dig in the ground, deeper, and then connect the trenches with our friends to the left. In just a few hours, trenches are all connected. When we do not have an axe, We can use a shovel to cut a loaf of bread. A soldier uses a shovel as a paddle, crossing the wide river under enemy fire. If we run out of ammunition, we will use a shovel again. And then we'll move on. And when we get the order to stop, we'll take a shovel again and build around us an impregnable fortress. This fortress is defended by the army of Ukraine, our army.
Broadcasting live from the basement of the Pentagon. This is WTF Nation Radio.
I looked my woman in the eye sockets. I told her straight out. I just said it, man. I said it. I said, bitch, I'm the man of the house.
You said bitch, though. You called your wife a bitch.
Yeah.
This is a public service announcement from C.T. Fletcher. I will not contribute to the pussification of a nation. Get your punk ass out there and work for it, motherfucker.
Let's roll.
Broadcasting live from the Functional Veterans Center of Excellence on this 17 August, we're already 17 August 2026, in the year of our propaganda, misinformation, disinformation, shipboard, ship underways news. Welcome to the Monday edition. Hey, I'm kind of, no, actually not kind of, I am pumped. Hey, I've been out for a minute, so had to go do some stuff. But I got a guest that's coming back that has not been on since 2019. We're gonna catch up, shoot the breeze, see how he's doing. Triple Martini. The Spanky said, they grow up so fast. Yeah, the last time we talked to him, I was not out yet. Well, that didn't sound right. I had not revealed myself. No, hang on. I had not come out. No, hang on, that didn't sound right there. I was not revealed as one of the admins to U.S. Army and WTF Moments, so it's been a minute since I've talked to Chris. And so he was, like I said, it was April of 2019. I didn't go public until October at AUSA 2019. So it's kind of cool. We're doing a nice little reunion here. Good to see Chris. Can't wait to shoot the shit and see what he's got going on with his projects. But first, we have news. Of course, we have news. Yeah. Oh, there you go, Rob. Oh, everybody's, only month without a holiday. You think about it. Well, you could make it a holiday. As a matter of fact, if you re-enlist, you get a holiday. We'll talk about that later. You listening, Rockstar Games? So Rob's got a good point. I'm going to try to use as many naval terms as I can. We're going to dive in and discuss the drama that's been happening across the webs and everyone freaking out. I have never seen anybody, let me take that back. I have never seen so much drama about what's been going on in the Navy with the departing of ships and carriers, and how long has been here and who long has been done that, to the point where it got onto social media and it became, I don't know, I'll just say it right now. I did a bunch of fucking Facebook Rangers. I'll say it. I think we got the tap. I think we still got the tap. Anyways, bunch of Facebook Rangers shooting down all the, I did this and I did that and I this. Look, amongst veterans, it's okay to jab back and forth about where you've deployed or where you've been. Everyone's like, oh, we joke around. Yeah. The only time, like we make jokes about the Air Force. What's the jokes about Air Force and anybody who's an air crew rest, 5-star hotels, whatever, the same thing in the soft. We talk about team houses, we talk about per diem, big army, we break balls about, they like to bring up how many times have been, amongst veterans, that's awesome. That's funny. I don't mind the jokes. I mean, I could take a joke here and there. But when it comes from our government, when it comes to our spokespeople, I'm like, dude, you're there to kind of let the public know that everything's going to be okay. No matter how you feel in the back of your brain bucket to say, this is going to be messed up. Oh, God, this is going to suck. These guys are going to be out there for so long, blah, blah, blah. If I was your comms guy, or if I was the Grand Admiral propaganda for the government, I would have said, we understand that there's a specific contingency that requires sailors to go out and for a duration of time. We understand that there could be some issues out there. We're going to go ahead and we're going to investigate. We're going to look into. That wasn't good enough for the public, though. That wasn't for the media attacking the Navy. No, that's not what's happening. That's not, no. So now, you, the American public, wanted the Navy to go out to see truth. Hey, let's find out the truth. Are sailors jumping off? Dude, our inbox at WTF Moments, kind of glad we're an Army page, but they literally were saying sailors were just jumping off. I mean, attempting to jump off. One soldier went over. There were so many stories that went out. We waited until the Navy came out and made a statement. That's when we posted it. And look, you wanted the Navy to look into it, families, American public, fucking fringe media, and they did. And now you don't believe them. You don't believe that's what's happened. I don't get it. Well, then, yesterday, for all you legs out there, yesterday was National Airborne Day. For those of you that have never spent your time at Fort Benning and put your knees in the breeze and fry a drop show, it was American Airborne Day. Airborne Day. So there was banter across that between legs and all that stuff. Who had it worse? Who was the ones that had it? Who was the one that sucked the most? Right? Okay. Well, then there was a video that came out that was kind of like. I'll show the video, and this video is pretty much somebody in on a ship, and the story of the ship is that, look at this. This is the hang on, I'll show you guys right here. A mutual of mine posted this, and so let me show you guys what this video entailed. Matter of fact, I'm gonna add the music on here and do a Squindo cap. I was kind of like, now everyone was like, oh my God, the Navy is soldiers going through some this is bad. So I'm gonna play the guys TikTok, and then I'm gonna let it play. So take a listen.
All right, y'all. So a couple y'all wanted to see how the ship look, or the head look, aka the bathroom. It's the showers right here. You feel me? This is what we go through on a carrier in the Navy. They say join the Navy, right? Join the Navy. Yeah, look at this, y'all. This is crazy. This ain't even the worst part, man. Sinks atrocious. Wait till y'all see the toilets, man. Look at the toilet. Y'all expect me to take a doo-doo in this, y'all? Nah. Y'all crazy. Look at this. Come on now. Join the Navy, though, right? Join the Navy. Yeah, all right, bro. All right, y'all. So,
Opine. Make your comments, please, because a lot of individuals, believe it or not, at U.S. Army WTF Moments, we get the same thing. We get a lot of this where individuals, have sent us. Look at this bathroom. This bathroom's trash. Okay, does it work though? Did the toilets flush and all that? Does the water, is there hot water? I understand on a ship's a little bit different. I'm gonna tell you what, I have the utmost respect for our sailors out there for what they do. I mean, I'm sorry, I'm a Army dog, and nope, you couldn't put me on a ship for any rotation, for any float. It's not uncommon either that floats have lasted more than 200 days, by the way. So it's not like this is whole new. Well, everyone's like, to include myself, I'm like, hey, well, get the cleaning squad. That's your you're supposed to clean it. Now, there has been controversy of the authenticity of where that video was taken, on the ship in question, or it was a foreign ship, or it was like I said, I gotta hang on. I gotta fan myself with my AER propaganda. Oh, Lord have mercy. Woo, make sure you donate to AER. AER, supporting soldiers and their families since 1942. Dude, exactly that. Don't show them NTC. This all stemmed from family members sending text messages to their to the media. Now, am I saying that there may or may not have been issues? I think there, of course, may have been issues, but not the overblown excuse of this is what's happening in the Navy, this or that specific ship. No one's. I mean, I'm not saying that. Look, and even in standard rotations, I did bring it up that when we cover NTC or JRTC, Jose goes out there and does his stuff. There's always these stories about there are 150 heat cats, 5 soldiers committed suicide. There have been soldiers that have been found dead out in the middle of the desert. A vehicle rolled over, and I'm not saying there's not been training accidents, but it's been embellished so bad. We get this in the inbox. I'm like, whole units have been taken out. Somebody make a phone call to some of the bros up at NTC. Hey man, are they y'all like losing people and stuff? Y'all, and then like, what are you talking about? And we don't provide the source, but we provide a little summary that soldiers are saying that this has happened. I'm not Wes. Wes, you about this? Oh yeah, that's right. You're a CB. Aren't CBs like they're like combat engineers of the navies, right? They do more things. Isn't it people who they're sailors that don't want to be in the Pip, good one. Would like to really know is how many pregnancies have popped up. So anyways, a text message has been sent to the media. It never went on boats. See, there you go. Were there people on boats, West, though, that wanted to be a CB, that liked the fact that they wish they could be a CB? You know what I mean? Everybody on the aircraft carrier did say, nah. But there was individuals. Now, there was a family member that spoke to CNN. And this individual, I'm not gonna make any accusations until I pin this down. But this person sounds real familiar. And went on CNN to talk about how bad shit was and how, the Navy is doing this and all that. Now, look, I get it. Mommy and daddy, spouse, husband, wife are concerned on all that. But when the Navy says, hey, this is what's happening and this is what's going on, we've not seen the amount of quote unquote casualties that we have seen that's been reported in those text messages to CNN about that shit, about the specific ship deployment. It's supposedly the Abraham Lincoln was supposed to have all these suicides and people jump, and people were like literally going nuts saying, see, they don't care about the troops. They what are you talking about? So this is from CNN. CNN might mute us. I don't know if we should do this because we have a guest tonight and I want to make sure he gets his show aired. So hang on, let me go. This is Jake Tapper talking to a spouse.
What was your reaction?
And the spouse, I don't know. She sounds familiar to me. I just say that. And once you kind of like hear the inflection and hear how this individual speaks, I'll let you decide. CNN, if we get dinged by CNN, then I guess we'll get dinged by CNN. It's only a 2-minute clip anyway, so let's listen to this voice. See if you could pin this down.
Reaction today. What was your reaction today to President Trump saying that, in fact, he didn't think the USS Lincoln's deployment has been, quote, long enough?
Oh, my God. I don't think the man thinks before he talks, and I was really hoping that at some point there would be a redemption. Try to redeem yourself at least a little bit with everything that you do and everything that you say, and try to redeem yourself. Have some sympathy, some empathy, take some accountability for what's going on with your military, your ships, in your war. It's infuriating. We heard what Hegseth said yesterday, what the president is saying today, it's infuriating, essentially saying that families are lying and service members are lying, even though the proof is right here on my phone. It is not fabricated. Nobody is lying. Everybody it's infuriating that they're not taking accountability and not having any sort of sympathy for our service members that they claim to scream and shout that they support when it's politically, sound for them to use support our troops until our troops need support.
Now, didn't that sound familiar? That sounds. I'm not saying that I'm gonna do some research. That's not a that voice sounds real familiar. I have my speculative identities of who I think it is, but that's more than one per. Only because I've heard them before on a phone or a recorded call or a recorded line. Oh, I've also heard them on the news, and so it's kind of like I don't know. I'm kind of like thinking I've heard that. I even tweeted it out. I'm like, wait, she sounds familiar. So again, it just kind of like got to the whole point. So that alleged video purportedly to be that Lincoln's head. That's just Squab's fucking. I'm getting okay. Look, somebody said it's not a squab. It's a swab. Not a squab. Now look, I heard the term squab with some Navy chief petty officers, and they called a squab. They called a sailor a squab. So I'm using that. Okay, I got my source from the dudes themselves, from the goat locker. Okay, so if I heard to say these fucking squabs or man these little squabs here, blah blah blah, that's where I'm getting my information from. I don't speak Navy. I do have some naval veterans that I think are pretty badass. Again, they do their own. I mean, better service members than me. So then they went to go visit the boat. Now, obviously there was some tension now because now, okay, you got called out. Now they're going to have CENTCOM leadership and Department of War leadership go out there to check shit out. And everyone's saying, yeah, there might be some issues, but it's standard, blah, blah, blah. It would be no different than fucking, of course, like Hots and Cots when you have a bad AC or you have no running water. I mean, we've had this issue before in the previous administration when there was water or there was diesel or fuel inside water of a ship that was afloat. I don't see anybody fucking going crazy about that. I don't see anybody now bringing that up. How many times the Navy has had to deal with some of this shit? And again, if they're out doing their thing for their military. I'll be honest with you. Again, they have my utmost respect. Those sailors out there, for real, flying, doing all that stuff. I can't even imagine being out there in a floating foundry, and people are trying to hit your boat or ship, I should say. I know naval personnel that get a little sensitive when you say, So it's like I kind of don't believe it. I really don't. It doesn't like you can't have it both ways. Okay, you bitch to the Army you bitch to the Navy. You went on CNN and said these fucking texts are proof. Okay, they did go out and they checked it out. And they got to the bottom. I'm pretty sure there's going to be some investigations or whatever, or AERs. And now what? Yeah, there was exactly that, Pip. There was a sailor that was interviewed and said it was business as usual, even though he hasn't seen land since 2025. Thomas, I don't think the generation's soft. I don't think so. I think, man, I'm gonna fucking get in trouble for saying this, but when have I not pissed off dependents or spouses or service members, moms and dads? I think they're just too needy. The fact that we've had methods of communication now is easy to access. That's why I don't recall, hearing any drama back and forth back in the day or anything big in the news about anything about any of us that were deployed or sailors talking about underway. I just think that now with the advent of social media and the access to reach their service member, oh man, and I bet you, I can look at it and say, yeah, this fucking, how it gets blown out of proportion. Yeah, this fucking sucks. We got to run out of hot water or whatever, blah, blah, blah. And the next thing you know, a family member gets that. Pick your tribe or fringe of affiliation, a political party that they decide to be part of. And of course, So let's look at another video. I'm impressed. I mean, the Navy, and I'm going to be honest with you, I think the Navy, I'll fucking say it. The Navy is blowing the Army out of the water. Man, I should maybe Navy and blowing. Anyways, the Navy is blowing the Army out of the water when it comes to comms, when it comes to proper messaging, when it comes to assisting the American public. Now, mind you, I'm not talking about as the American public, the correct information of what's going on. They want full on, a full on spread. I'm going to tell you what, if we only had nuclear heated water, could you imagine? I'm out with the Army. I don't know. There's going to be some reactors opening up on certain installations. I wouldn't mind. I'm going to get some of that. Let me get some of that nuclear water. But anyways, let me look at this video right here. I even said, this is like good comms. This is something that has, this is from the George Washington. George Washington is going to go spell or relieve or replace the Lincoln. And so I just think that this right here is proper comms. And I'm going to show you this video right here. I'm going to say, high praise to the Navy. Chinfo, the Chief of Information. That's awesome, shipmate. I have service with Navy guys, so they call me shipmate. This I call them shipmate. Shipmate. Anyways, shipmates. Outstanding what they did. They rolled out interviews and discussions, almost like modular demonstrations out in Softland. What we used to do is we used to rehearse and practice what our job was. Hi, my name is Staff Sergeant Ken Ramos. I am the team leader for TPT 913. We are subordinate to, and then we had to hit our legs jump master school. Tactical Psyop Detachment 910. And then we go through. My job as the team leader is to assist, blah, 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 right? That's good shit, right? Something that was good. Let me show you this video right here, and you can see that there's pride with these sailors in talking about what they do. I mean, again, this is almost immediate after Jake Tapper had that spouse on. Let me help if I put the volume up. So check it out.
Welcome to USS George Washington. I'm Coordinate Specialist 2nd Class, Mark. Today I want to share what goes on providing for 5,000 sailors on board a U.S. Navy aircraft carrier. Throughout the day and into the night, our sailors have all sorts of food and drink options and available to them. Beginning, of course, on the mess decks, but also grabbing quick snacks or essentials at the ship's store. George Washington sailors can also grab a cup of coffee at George's Java Cafe or drinks and food at vending machines all over George Washington. Sailors have the opportunity to eat 3 meals a day plus midnight rations. At sea, my team have to sustain 5,000 sailors for an extended period of time, and we plan for this. Our 150 cooks work 24 hours to prepare and serve 15,000 meals a day to ensure George Washington sailors are well fed. At times, you may not have everything every sailor wants, but sailors have access to protein, starch, and veggies. The essentials are definitely covered. From the Mezdex to our aft cafe, there's always something available to keep the crew fueled and ready for the fight. That's all for me. See you on the Mezdex. We are Team Warfighter.
There you go. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. How can we only see our senior leadership on memes and fucking podcasts? How come the Navy's getting it out? Getting it out there. This right here is what I'm talking about. This right here is outstanding messaging. Their public affairs section are not hiding like other branches of service when it comes to this type of stuff. This the way I see it is an awesome display of true comms, of informing. Now you got to remember, comms, public affairs, to inform the American public and tell that service member's branch, whatever, sailor, Army, Guardian, Marine. What was the other one? Airman, Coast Guardian. That's what they're there for. They're there to come out. They're not there to hide. They're there to tell the public that service's story. So the little drama that you saw with, these things are lying, blah, 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 blah. The Navy have been able to provide top productions. That's the way it should be done. It should be done by the kids or they're all kids anyways, because they're probably older than them. But this right here is what you expect to see the force telling them. It's almost like, oh my God, they legit are throwing out I don't want to say an AFN commercial, but almost like that, an AFN commercial. Yeah, you see the Starbucks, everything's fine. Yeah, exactly that. Mid-rats. Have you ever been on a naval post where you had mid-rats? Bro. Yeah, they have Starbucks, everything's fine. Yeah. Mid-rats? Oh, man. I used to make cold cut sandwiches in my postings with naval personnel during mid-rats. That was my favorite time. That was my favorite time to go eat. You know, because I was so busy and stuff doing shit. So it, light breakfast. Then we had lunch, and then dinner. And if I skipped dinner, I couldn't get dinner. Bam, go get some mid-rats. That's all with cold cut sandwiches. The Navy knows how to do it up. Maybe we should talk about President Obama's atrocities. Why? Well, we're not. He's not in office right now. We're talking about current events with the Monday edition news, commentary, and discussion. Did I tell you we got a guest today? Chris Martini. So again, I am glad that the Navy is getting out in front of this and telling the sailor story by getting this information out there. To me, I just think it's perfect. Now, politicians are going to be politicians. Our president is our president. But when you say, well, the Navy, we need to bring it up to the Navy, and the Navy goes out and does it and reports back that, yeah, there's some issues, but we're going to fix this and blah, 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 blah. That should satisfy you enough. And also to you that are texting back to your family members, like Pip said, hate mongering, and getting them all riled up. I don't have any examples where I've been deployed where I've called home during certain situations. But everyone's making like, oh my God, Lincoln, oh blah. So everyone's saying that the footage that I showed you guys of that dude who was inside that, decrepit, or I should say unclean shower, it was a French ship. And it was saying that and then the guy was a Navy guy that was not on the Lincoln. It was a vehicle. It was one that was in port. So it's like, now I will say this. The Navy has one of the most outstanding resiliency resources in the service. My question would be, if I was chief or, senior NCO, their version of a, first sergeant or SGM or CSM. Hi, we appreciate the fact that you're having these issues. Have you contacted any of the resources here for, resiliency? The Army cut the resiliency program out, by the way. So I'm kind of finding it funny that the Navy, with its outstanding resiliency services, who was it? Brad Cooper? Yes. And he did say that going out and visiting was a priority in the Middle East. Now, of course, everyone's going to jump into the political punditry and say, well, see. And so it got to the point to where, and I have commented, other people have commented that, someone's spouse or somebody's spouse complained about the conditions and it got media attention. Congratulations, you got media attention. So now you're going to have Admiral Brad Cooper go out there and visit to check out and see what's going on. He's got to get the story right. That's not what you want him to do. So the commander was also was notified by Admiral Cooper's aide to camp ahead of the visit. And of course, the carrier commander then freaked out a little bit. And could you imagine that little text message sent to the media got everybody cleaning more extra for a flag officer's visit. Again, I find that voice of the person that was on there. Mid-rats weren't always the best, but they definitely skimped. Yeah, no, I'm saying I always had cold cut sandwiches when I had mid-rats. Some good shit. They need to scuttle the barracks. Yeah, oh my God, yeah, the barracks. Okay, you're 100% right on that one, Pip. 100%. So again, we'll be tracking it. We'll be posting it. We didn't go too much into it due to the fact that the Navy's, what's that a rabble rouse when the Navy's already doing something about it. If the Navy's saying, yeah, we're going to go check it out, and they go check it out. No, that's not what I wanted. I wanted it work. I don't know. It's hard to say. It's like, when will you be satisfied? That's the issue. Because then if you're not satisfied, even though the Navy went to go check it out, then it's purely political. That's just it. It's purely political. Matter of fact, I think we posted the story. Let me go swing on over to the main page. And where is it at? think we did post it. Yeah, we did. Posted an article on the main page from Task and Purpose. So there you go. That's. Hang on, let me drop all the notifications here. There we go. Head of Central Command visits USS Abraham Lincoln. Quality of life concerns. There you go. Damn, I can't even look at guns on the computer without having gun locks and gun safe stuff coming up. So he visited with sailors. The Marines was set to come home soon after an extended deployment. Let's see. Let me read what's that. Top officer for Central Command Abraham Lincoln on Saturday. His family's on board. Continue to report poor conditions. Blah blah blah. Says 10-day tour of the region. Met with service troops and commanders as well as allies in the Middle East. He spent hours on the ship. According to CENTCOM spokesperson, the one ship he visited during a tour, the stop on the Lincoln, which happened on midday. Saturday dates shown in the video. The clip came after several reports from the families. Now, we heard one from a spouse. We heard there was a spouse sending texts, and then we heard that there was a mom getting some of the texts. So both, of course, there has been reports, and this is what it said right here. The stop on the Lincoln, which happened midday, days still in the video, came days after several reports from the families of sailors. Broken showers and laundry, other issues. Family members say that morale is low after months at sea, and the crew's mental health is strained. Both Military Times and Stars and Stripes reported cases of sailors attempting to jump overboard. So, I mean, slow down, take a deep breath, fan yourself with some AER propaganda, cool down a little bit. Make sure you donate to AER, of course, supporting soldiers and their families since 1942. And stop trying to jump on the fucking, stop trying to jump in the complaint wagon. Again, we hit up sailors. We've talked to sailors. Is this normal? What's normal? The best thing the Navy did was to do that. The worst thing that our administration did was make a comparison. Anybody from the cabinet would have said, well, my deployment sucked. My deployment was 400 some odd days. My deployment was this. My deployment was that. Almost kind of like, my deployment sucks, so should yours. I even said, are we really fucking one-upping the deployment shit? I mean, we could go back and forth on who had it worse or who deployed the most. Doesn't really matter because the time that you have went deployed was during the time of your specific life window, I guess you'd say. And yeah, exactly that. Some people said that, I had aren't there nets around? I have a friend who is a Navy veteran, and I was told that once you jump off, then the boat ain't turning around. I don't know. I've not heard. I don't know if boats have not or turned around. But I would say if you're jumping off the front of the ship, it's several stories high. I mean, don't you think like the wake turbulence, the turbulence inside underneath the water will just suck you up and put you out in the back? I mean, I've seen the back. I've seen have you seen the wakes of ships and aircraft carriers? How the water is extremely disturbed. So it's kind of like, all right. I'm just kind of like, oh, okay. So that's the status of that. Exactly. Yeah, I want to say, is there nets? I don't know. Like I said, and of course, you got those old salty veterans, the old Navy salt. Old Navy salt is, man. They're like, and we did the same thing, or we had hit our floats the same way, specifically during exercise and all that. So I'm curious to see what comes back. Matter of fact, I haven't, you know what? I didn't just hit me just now. I should hit up U.S. Navy W.T.F. moments and see what they got going on. Matter of fact, let's see if they posted anything. Because I'm kind of curious now. Yes, there is there is a U.S. Navy W.T.F. moments. So this has been April. So here we go. We got some Navy stuff. No, their last post was in April. Actually, it was a post about Chow. U.S. State Congress must investigate pics of gross Navy food sparking outrage. And U.S. Navy W.T.F woman said. Is this true or is Hegseth full of shit? So yeah, I don't know. We'll I'm gonna have to hit him up. Say yo sailor, yo shipmate, you what you covering? I'll ask him. Say, hey man, show us some. Send him some stuff or post some stuff and we'll share your shit. But yeah, so we're curious to see what's gonna happen. Yeah, the Marines, they just answered the question. They didn't say they were gonna do the job. Well, see, again, we don't know it. I saw another video. Hang on. There was another video that I saw. And it was of a sailor talking about what they do, talking about their here we go. This right here, I love this video right here. Quick 30-second video talking about this. This is from Lincoln Nation. On behalf of the WTF Nation, we're gonna post up Lincoln Nation. So this is from the USS Abraham Lincoln, and this right here is again, when somebody says something like this. I saw this video earlier, and I'm glad I caught it on the thread. You kind of want to like listen to them, and immediately it's always, well, that's because MAGA hates you, or that's because the libs hate you, or that's not the case. If a service member is saying something that is like saying something, then they're going to say it. I don't know why everyone's getting so wrapped around the axle about making sure this person, or making sure anybody who is speaking good about their experiences is going to be, you know what I mean? Why should it be? So this is from the USS Abraham Lincoln. Shall not perish. Shout out to the shipmates out there. Let me change this right here and get the sound squared away. You have to forgive me. It's been a minute since I've played with the buttons, sliders, and all that stuff. So here you go. So let's take a couple seconds to look at this video. I like this video too.
I think the hardest part for me will be like leaving my family, like my parents and my husband. I don't have kids, but it's actually leaving my close-knit family and a few of my close friends. That's the hardest part. I have learned that I could do anything I put my mind to, and I'm stronger than I think I am. That's one thing that I have learned. Like, there's nothing I put my mind to that I cannot do. Nothing can break me. I don't think anything can break me again. I made my country, my family, and everybody around me proud.
Hell yeah. Although that music, though, makes you want to fall asleep.
I think the hardest part for me will be like leaving my family.
It's like, hey, you're listening to the USS Abraham Lincoln media outlet with WTF Nation Radio. Doesn't it sound like that? Like you're at a speakeasy or some shit. Like, hang on.
Made my country, my family, and everybody around me proud.
That's right. Make sure you go Navy. That's good shit. That's what it's all about. Hearing it from the sailors. That's, again, we don't see that shit when Jose puts a story out from NTC, from the Army. So again, I kind of laugh at the fact that everyone's like, oh my God, this fucking global doom, ship sinking, blah, blah, blah. And then here come the sailors from the Washington and the Lincoln, talking about their service and talking about what they do. Proud, with pride of what they do on ship. That's impressive, man. You cannot, there's what's there to spin? What's there to say? You can't sit there and say, oh, an Obama this and Obama that. So what I saw was 2 scoops of rice and tortillas and gray meat. I also saw that one sailor was suicidal and they had exaggerated. Yes, there you go. Exactly that. The numbers, and that's that. I'm glad you brought that up, Dusty. That's the numbers that we're not saying. And everybody who's gone underway, who is afloat. Been hanging out with some Navy people and speaking to Navy people lately to get the jog on right. There's always a case, or there's always an event, or there's always a possibility that someone could have suicidal ideations while they're underway. And that's not uncommon. But like I said, they're exaggerating. They're making it sound like just sailors are just flying off the deck, like World War Z and shit, just flying off. And that's not the case. And so I'm glad that they were able to, again, go out, hang out with them, see what's going on, and get their accounts. So that's kind of like, I don't know. I myself, I'm satisfied with it. Now, I'm not satisfied with our administration telling everybody, well, you're At least you didn't deploy 465 days or 500 days and got extended 50 times. Once you're at that position of comms, that's not your role, dude. That's not your role to say shit like that. Your role is to assure the American public that our service members are healthy. They're doing their jobs. They're safe. They get, their environment that they're in is healthy and safe as well. Their chow is good. That's it. We will investigate. We're going to send out the CENTCOM commander to find out what exactly is going on, and we'll get to the bottom of that. That would have been it. That would have been good. That's your story right there. Not, well, my shit sucked, and you better complain about you're on a ship. You don't need that. You don't need that at all. That's not what they. That's not it. Army fucks up something so bad so often. Jose doesn't have time for post production. Oh, I would. There's some news about Jose that will be released later. So yeah, but yeah, it's just like there's always exactly. It's always one or two people. Again, the influx of or the amount of casualties that supposedly is on there. Then exactly that. Yep. It is the Pacific is cold. It is real cold. But anyway, so that's what I want to kind of rant on about with the Navy. Another story that's just come out. This right here. This right here is I'm gonna go ahead and I'm just gonna say it right now. There's a commander that's out there, Lieutenant Colonel Ryan D. Hodgson. You guys know how I am with fucking names. Put it out to the formation, and we do have the document. Now that document has been considered what we have heard and what we've got from different sources to be authentic. That a special reenlistment incentive has been granted for soldiers in the 9th Engineer Battalion, and it has to do with GTA. So much to the point to where several news outlets, to include the gaming guys, the gaming news outlets, have said, no way. Now, mind you, of course, special reenlistment incentive, Grand Theft Auto, GTA 6, 4-day pass to establish a reenlistment incentive program to promote retention, boost morale, and reward continued dedication of the soldiers within the 9th Engineer Brigade, or 9th Brigade Engineer Battalion, BEB. This policy applies to all active duty enlisted soldiers assigned to or attached to the 9th BEB who are eligible for enlistment. Sorry, officers. Incentive details. Any soldier, let me read this again. Any soldier who signs a reenlistment contract between 1 August 2026 and 14 November, so the window has opened, will be authorized a special 4-day pass. This special pass is specifically designated to coincide with the highly anticipated release of the video game Grand Theft Auto 6. You want to talk about knowing your kids? This right here. The exact dates of the 4-day pass will be coordinated between the soldier and their chain of command, aligning with the official release date of the game, November 20th through the 23rd of 2026. November. Yeah, there you go. I was like, this is so awesome. We at US Army W.T.F Moments posted on all of our platforms. Get in on this, Rockstar Games. Get games for the troops for re-upping. Send us a DM. So the offer's still out there, Rockstar. Hit us up or hit me on Twitter at the IO guy and hit us up. Get some, get some games for the troops. I'm pretty sure the 9th BEB will send us a roster of personnel who have re-enlisted, and wouldn't it be great? Now, yeah, exactly. That badass. Right, exactly. I'll be honest with you. This is a good deal. I mean, it's an incentive. I already pre-ordered my copy. So my thing is that there were people who were mad that this was happening, that were actually tagging Secretary Hegseth saying, it's not for our warfighters. I'm going to tell you guys right now that are pissed off about this, that are butthurt. You're not the target audience. You're not in, especially if you're not in. If you're not in, hey, let the kids have their stuff. I guarantee it. You will be, this right here probably when they're like, nah, this didn't happen. Nah, for real. And then the memorandum. So yes, the memorandum so far from what we've been told is authentic. The individual points of contact, of course, we want to, keep, of course, that individual. We don't want that individual's phone to blow up. But yes, that is an actual memorandum, albeit there's some spelling errors on the thing. Nobody, whatever. A video game news outlet talked about it and mentioned us, moi. Well, not moi, but the W.T.F Nation. Man. So let me say this. Army Battalion, U.S. Army Battalion. Who is this right here? U.S. Army Battalion Commander is reportedly offering troops 4 days off. Now this is from, I'm trying to look at the game here. Dexerto. There we go. They've posted this out. And of course, we were looking at the Navy stuff too, so all the Navy ads are popping in there. But they put it out and talked about us too, and talked about this commander. Shout out. U.S. Army Battalion is reporting offering troops 4 days off to play GTA as an incentive to re-enlist. I mean, this is a big deal. GTA 6 is scheduled to launch for PlayStation and Xbox Series X on November 19th. I'm gonna retire my own. Man, look at that. I go freaking looking for food and stuff like that, and I already got and tools. my cookies are ratting on me. Army memo offers a 4-day GTA pass for re-enlisting soldiers. Look at that, man. According to Coca-2. I think I don't know. Did they reach out to us? Let's see. Coca-2. There we go. Access. Yeah. Cat cookies. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, they even talk about us too. Look at that. There's our document. On August 17th, the Facebook, Instagram page, U.S. Army WTF Moments, shared a photo of the memo. There we go. The image was then quickly shared on the Grand Theft Auto subreddit, and it spread from there. 4-day pass valid from, what are we looking at here? Oh. From, valid from November 23rd is intended to establish a special re-enlistment incentive program to promote retention, boost morale, and reward the continued dedication of soldiers within the 9th Infantry Battalion. This is like good shit. I don't understand why people would be upset about this. But there are people, and thank you so much, Kogaku. Kotaku. I don't want to mess that name up. And also, who is the other one? Dexerto. We appreciate the shout out and the acknowledgement of the article and tagging us. We appreciate that, and using our media. Hey, thanks. Shout out. I think this is a good thing. I think out of the box leadership when it comes to re-enlistment incentives is important. You cannot. I'm hitting the strip club within the first 20 minutes of playing. Let's see those graphics. Yeah, exactly. Sub player skanks and scallywags. Yeah. What's up there, Corey? Yeah. How is this a bad idea? Everyone's like, oh, it's a bad idea. Our soldiers are soft, are woke. SMA Chandler wouldn't approve. Yeah. Exactly. Oh man, yeah, for sure. I don't know. I'll be honest with you. I personally think that it's cool that commanders out there thinking about the soldiers, understanding wait, let me look at the comments in here. Let's see. Hang on. Let's look at the comments here. The comments are hilarious. So let's really read some of the comments here. So they gave a half a gallon of military special for the Class 6 and 3-day pass to the titty bar outside of Gate 1 at Fort Campbell. Wow, okay. Everyone here saying, now that's yeah, somebody, I noticed that too. 2nd Armored Brigade Combat Team. What good is the game when the console and software are approaching the cost of soldiers' entire side? Soldiers, life finds a way when it comes to stuff like that. A soldier will find the way to get that game and play that game. How long it's going to take to download and stay up day one, not to mention the bugs that will be whatever. And of course, times have changed. Or top it off with buying them a copy of the game. See, that's the goal. Everyone asked us when we suggested to Rockstar Games what were we planning on doing. That's what we wanted to do. We wanted Rockstar to reach out with us, and the offer's open right there. And Rockstar, we will give you the roster of personnel that have re-enlisted for that time period. And let's do a little promotion there. Give them copies of the game. There you go, to promote it, to to support the troops. I guarantee it. It would be awesome to see. I want to pick up the sticks and all you need is a game in MWR. Yeah, exactly. Maybe a free pizza coupon. Wayne, what's that comment? What are you, freeze dried or doing a hard time? So yeah, I'm excited. I mean, this is kind of cool. This gets the troops thinking and talking and motivated and all that. If we can get Rockstar Games, if we can work something with Rockstar to, hey, can you send a copy to the troops that we're enlisting? I don't think I've ever seen. I mean, have we seen games like this? Have we seen re-enlistment incentives? I don't think I've seen one. If there has been, then I've not seen it. So, but anyways, all right. So I'm gonna go ahead and take a break right quick so I can get Chris, and then that way we can shoot the breeze. And I don't think he saw me when I was the last time, because like I said, his last appearance was April of 2019. So pretty excited to see and catch up and shoot the breeze with him. So anyways, make sure you refill your drinks and shots. Hit the head, smoke them if you got them. Be right back.
WTF Nation Radio. WTF Nation Radio.
Take it from me, Ice. You can't just float around space not caring about stuff forever.
The voice of U.S. Army. WTF Moments. This is WTF Nation Radio.
Shit in the bag, Pogue.
Soldier's tale of wild misdeeds, from the chow hall to the PT grind. You won't believe the things you'll find. Drill sergeant's rage, a fiery storm. Private tension far from the norm, in the shadows where the secrets lie. Army W.T.F, you can't deny. Army W, the stories unfold. In the heart of the chaos, the truth is told. From the field to the base, the legends grow. Stuck in the mud so deep, a midnight rain, no time for sleep. Emerge straight like golden hand. The strangest sights in this foreign land. Drill sergeant's rage, a fiery storm. Private antics far from the norm, in the shadows where the secrets lie. Army W.T.F, you can't deny. Army W, the stories unfold. In the heart of the chaos, the truth is told. From the field to the base, the legends grow. Army W, the force, the madness we know. Mud so deep, a midnight rain, no time for sleep. Emerge straight like golden hand. The strangest sights in this foreign land. Drill sergeant's rage, a fiery storm. Private antics far from the norm, in the shadows where the secrets lie. Army W.T.F, you can't deny. Army W, the stories unfold. In the heart of the chaos, the truth is told. From the field to the base, the legends grow. Army W, the force, the madness we know. In the ranks where the wild things roam, every soldier's got a tale of their own. From the absurd to the downright strange. Army W, the force, it never will change. She'll raise a glass to the tales untold. In the Army's world, where the brave and bold live the moments that make us say, Army W, the force, every single day.
Sorry that I can't keep it together. Maybe it's the trauma, or maybe it's the drugs. I can't seem to control my fucking temper. But the problem lies in not being enough. I lost my sense of humor in the battle for my mind. Now I'll slip away with one last puff this time. Substance suicide, assisted by my fickle friend. I'll finally lose my mind. Substance suicide, only time with no regrets is letting myself die. Forgive me for the outburst with your neighbors. My actions don't reflect what's in my soul. I never found the right way to relate or take in and display a better role. The chemicals that shape me are buried deep this time. My family's already given up, it's fine. Substance suicide, assisted by my fickle friend. I'll finally lose my mind. Substance suicide, the only time with no regrets, letting myself die. Substance suicide, assisted by my fickle friend. I'll finally lose my life. The substance suicide, the only time with no regrets is letting myself die. Is letting myself die.
What is this Facebook Live? I've never heard of this shit.
I am here determined to stop this future atrocity.
This station is now the ultimate power in the universe. I suggest we use it.
The voice of U.S. Army, WTF Moments. This is WTF Nation Radio.
I find your lack of faith disturbing.
Everything stated on WTF Nation Radio is to be considered the opinion of the person that stated it, and not an official representation of WTF Nation Radio or U.S. Army WTF Moments.
Price does not include tax, title, or license. Some assembly required. Each item sold separately. Batteries not included. Objects in mirror are closer than they appear. If conditions persist, contact a physician. Individual results may vary. Keep out of the reach of children. Avoid prolonged exposure to direct sunlight. Keep in a cool, dark place. And
please enjoy the show. Shots.
Oh, man. Where's my music? Oh, we're back. I'm back. Christopher Martini. Holy crap. We were just catching up. This is some of the shit that we need to say in the show, not behind the scenes. But welcome back to the Monday edition, man.
Ken, I can't believe it's been so long since Trooper.
Yeah.
Since I moved Trooper. I mean,
yeah, exactly.
I was a lot younger. I had a shaved head probably at the time, and a lot less gray hair because I didn't have any kids at the time.
Yeah.
So,
oh, I know that. That's why I wear ball caps. You can't see my hair, receding and all that. So, but welcome back to the Monday edition. Me and Chris were talking behind the scenes before we went live, and the last appearance was April of 2019 that you came on, and wow. so much has come. You're kind of a big deal now. You've got some good creds. I think Trooper was like your third project that you were working on.
Yeah, that film's Trooper stayed relevant for so long that we kept screening it on bases, Air Force bases, military bases, because the story of the returning veteran is never going to go away
Of
until
course.
all wars are stopped, and or ceased to be. And when has that ever happened?
Right,
So
right, exactly.
it's the film always stays relevant. Of course, now with the technology, it looks like an older film, but it's just as powerful as when we screened it. So yeah, so I was pushing that way beyond its run, just because I knew how it affected so many veterans.
Well, you also the way you and I'm just gonna play real quick. Just some of the we got it. Oh man, I forgot you guys put a MPA thing on here. I like the look of it because it has that austere, almost like Pulp Fiction look to it, and that's when we talked last time about this. That was one of my biggest. It just had a feel, it had like a certain feel to it. I'm not saying don't lose that aesthetic. I love that aesthetic, by the way. That kind of has that Quentin Tarantino, austere dialogue. And
Well,
go ahead.
we shot that. We shot that when it's so funny. We shot that when HD just came out. It was
Yeah.
like, the Canon 5D camera
Yeah,
that
yeah,
was
yeah, yeah,
shooting.
yeah.
Actually, no, it was before that. It was the Panasonic.
PS2, right? We were talking about that.
Yeah, it
Yeah,
was just the first time
yeah,
that video had a film look, and we shot with that camera, and it looks like a movie,
yeah.
but it's HD. It's pretty low resolution compared to what you get today, but
Right.
it's just testament that the script combined with the acting and the direction, when it all comes together, it doesn't matter what you shoot on. So if you're a filmmaker and or you want to be a filmmaker and you're sitting at home and you don't think you have the money or the tools or the resources to do that, well, that's a load of shit. You got to get out there, you got to write your script, get out there and tell your story, and I'm actually starting online film school, ChristopherMartini.com, Christopher Martini Film School.
Oh
There's
wow.
going to be an online course and for all aspects of filmmaking. But then we're going to do a physical retreat for veterans in New Mexico where we actually get hands-on experience making films.
Oh wow.
And I'm working with Dallas Burgess and Jonathan Delaney Marsh. Dallas is a veteran, Iraq veteran who's now an accomplished director who says that filmmaking saved his life. And that's the reason I'm doing it, because I know that making a film is like mission driven. And, I want veterans to be able to tell their story, because so many, after making Trooper, so many veterans came to me saying, this is what happened to me. This would make a great movie. How do I turn this into a movie? Obviously, I can't help everybody tell their story. I
Of
don't have
course.
the money or the time, but what I can do is teach you how to do it. And so that's why I'm doing this course, but it's really catered towards veterans and first responders, because I really feel like that the military mindset is so well suited for filmmaking. And I have a crew of veterans that I've trained that work on my projects that didn't know anything. And now they're running the set, they're shooting, they're doing sound, they're writing, So anyways, that's what
No,
I'm
no.
doing. But
Yeah, yeah.
it all stems from Trooper,
Yeah, well, I remember you were cutting your teeth on Trooper the most to get it out there, and I mean, if you, I know, we're going to talk to the other projects, but can you give a little bit of the a feel to the audience on what the struggle was to get that out there? What was your, because you and I talked about, I'm trying to remember, it was like just to get it out there in itself, and how it you had to persevere to make sure you get it out there,
I mean, Trooper was rife with so many conflicts from
Yeah,
the beginning
yeah,
until the end. And, but when you want to be an independent guerrilla filmmaker, you have to conquer the obstacles, just like your main character in your movie, and everything will come against you. It's not going to be like being deployed or anything like that. It's nothing is as bad as what that can be.
Mhm.
However, That's why I think veterans are so well suited for this, because just the ability to persevere through
Right.
the worst circumstances. So when I made Trooper, in a nutshell, what happened was, I had been editing these National Lampoon movies, and I also was editing a documentary on Gulf War veterans. That's why I wanted to tell the story. I was horrified that veterans weren't being taken care of when they came home. So this is what, drove me to make the movie. However, what happened was I edited those movies and the producer didn't pay me. And
Mm.
so those checks collected, and all of this, and then he paid me all at once. And I was, I was single, I didn't have a family, it was just me. So it
Mhm.
was like, this is the most money I've ever had at one time. I'm gonna make this script, because I had just written the story, and it was, it got great response at film festivals, script awards, that kind of stuff.
Right.
So I said, I'm gonna make it. Now, I put all my life, all my money into this movie. You know, uh, it actually cost me a relationship that I was in, and
Sorry to hear about
but
that. Oh man.
these are the kind of sacrifices that filmmakers have to make. And I went to NYU Film School,
Mhm.
and I doubt any of the people in my class are still working in film. It's that hard, so every stage was hard. So when I was making the movie, I played the lead, I was an actor, I was the star of it, I was directing it, which is hard in itself. But I would be losing locations. Crew would be quitting on me,
Mm.
trying to extort me.
Mm.
I had the flu, so physically, you know, and we shot this film in 14 days.
Mm.
Which is faster than most TV crews
Right,
work.
right,
We're
exactly.
we're shooting like 6, 8, 10 pages a day, with no money. And so, it's hard, and it was hard. And when I screened it in New York at the Actors Studio, and to a room of very left-leaning, people in the arts, Eli Wallach's daughter was there.
Oh wow.
Um, when I saw tears and laughter and intensity in their eyes when they're watching it, and they loved it. I knew that all that hard work paid off. And then when I flew to Florida to screen it to uh, a military audience there, and I got the same response from probably an audience that was more right leaning. And I knew I had a great movie, and it all was like paying off. But the hardship didn't stop there. I had to get it seen. Now I had this great movie. So I sent it to Sundance, and we got a letter back from them, and it said, "Oh, we love your movie. You almost got in, and
Mm.
we're gonna," and that would have changed my
Of
life.
course. Yeah, yeah.
That would have changed my life instantly. So they said, "We're going to recommend you to Tribeca."
Oh wow.
And so I was talking to the programmers there. One of them really loved it, and she was kind of fighting for us. And she said, "Do you have all the music cleared?" And I was like, "Oh man," because
Yep, I know the
we
legality
had
of that. Yep.
we had Bruce Springsteen music in there,
Oh man.
um, you know, uh, Bob Dylan music. Now the film only cost 60 grand to make,
Mhm.
right? It was like very cheap,
Right.
and for a feature film, for a 2-hour film. So, but what I did was I took 20 grand, and I brought in an investor, Lori Renwick, who's a lieutenant colonel. She was in the military, and she came in as an investor to help us with finishing funds. With the money that she brought in, I hired a music supervisor, Beth Rosenblatt, to go out and clear the music. Now
Awesome. Awesome.
she got permission from Bob Dylan and Bruce Springsteen, to personally to let us use a song each, for gratis, for no cost. and that has never been, they've never done that. They've
Right.
never licensed the song for less than $1 million or
Mhm.
something, you
Yeah.
know. And so I went back to Tribeca and I said, hey, all of our music's cleared. We got Bruce Springsteen, we got Dylan. And then they're like, okay, look, we're still fighting for you. You know, wait, you're going to get an answer soon.
Mhm.
Okay. And Tribeca would have changed my life. And I know
Right.
you know where this is going,
Yeah, yeah,
because
yeah, yeah.
I wouldn't be telling you this story if, you know, if it weren't related to what you were saying. So, um, I was in the middle of Utah. I was like in Moab, in like the most beautiful desert or something, when I got the call. Like I was in a great state of peace when I
Mhm.
got the call from Tribeca that said that I didn't get in.
Mm.
And, you know, and so, you know, it didn't, the conflict never stopped it, you know. So at that point, I had to say, well, why? Why didn't they like Trooper? And because it was, so many people loved it, and why did these festivals come close to taking it and not taking it? And I think at the end of the day, after all is said and done, I think it was a little bit too patriotic for them, because that, the interesting thing about the film is you can't tell which side the
Exactly.
filmmaker is on.
Exactly.
It was
Exactly.
like both sides saw so much
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Yep.
in that movie. Like the left saw sort of the anti-war thing, you know, and then the right saw the veteran thing and the
Correct.
love of country. So it
Correct.
was like, it was a really interesting movie. So just, you know, I'm rambling about Trooper,
No,
but it
no,
was a
no.
defining film for me. And one last thing is that it didn't stop there. I had to get the film seen. And I mean, I got an MPAA rating, and I got the film into theaters, and people still watch it
Mhm.
on Amazon,
Yeah.
on Tubi. You
Yeah.
can watch it for free on Tubi. Trooper Martini, just put it. But
Well, because
it's
we never got to this point. You know, we were talking about Trooper when you joined, when you and I chatted in 2019. This part we didn't get. That's why I asked about it. That's why.
Oh
Uh,
yeah, it's a great film. If you are a filmmaker and you make a film that you know people love, don't ever stop trying to get that thing seen,
right.
because, you know, like, don't let these like cultural gatekeepers dictate your life. I mean, if you're a filmmaker, you got to be like John Cassavetes or somebody
Hmm.
with like balls.
Yeah.
You have to have balls and say, you know what? No, screw you. This is a good movie. There's people that want to see this, and you have to find a way to get it to them.
Right. Right.
So that was, you know, Trooper was a long road, but I don't regret anything
No, no.
about
Again, I liked the. Again, I had that avant garde. I just felt like like I said, I was watching like a kind of like a Tarantino, like, you know, for me. I mean, and you know, and it resonated a little bit with me too. So I felt it. So I was like, oh, I got it. It was always in the back of my mind. If I ever talked to Chris, I wonder, because after you released it and then, you know, you did your thing, and then that was one of the things that I always had that in the back of my mind. All right, what happened afterwards? You know, what was the, you know, it was
Yeah.
kind of cool for you to come back, because that got me the, all right, cool. Now I wanted to hear it from you, not just from the website, but I wanted to hear it from you because it resonated. Like I said, I heard about it at the PX. We heard about it, you know, guys at Bragg, guys at Drum, guys at, you know, Fort Benning, Fort Stewart, and the guys were using it as like a not really like a surge type of thing, but kind of like, hey, this is what veterans returning home are going to deal with. And I mean, everyone, I had no complaints. I like I said, it did get you. It got me in the feels. So it's like you didn't have to pick a side just to watch it. You just watch it, and then you could go, fuck, I can relate to that. Oh man, I can relate.
There's some really powerful stuff in there, and it has a lot to do with Gary Swanson, who played my dad, who was a Vietnam vet. But
Mm-hmm.
like, our chemistry, and, you know, in some of those scenes, like, we broke to a new level.
Right,
And
right.
you know, it's not a perfect film, but I think it's a very hard for films to get to that point where you break through that level of reality. And I think we did it. We did it in that
100%.
film.
Yeah,
Yeah.
100%. I enjoyed it. All right, so now that we covered now that we've closed that loop from a few years back. so what I mean, matter of fact, I'm gonna pull your site back up again. Window cap this, and that way you can see and all that. You have the Medal of Honor one. You have Wheelchairs for Warriors. You have Newsfront. How did you get? How did you get the? Like, for instance, what was the idea? What was the pitch to get some of these stories out? Is it just in your normal, running into in the veteran community, or you just like, I think I'm going to do this because I read about it? How did you come up with the, I guess you would say, the concept or the storyboard for it?
Well, everything kind of originates in different ways. Some of these projects originate with me, but like Medal of Honor, for example, like some of these other projects are
Well, Don Jenkins.
basically, so Don Jenkins was, what Forrest Gump was based on. He
Right.
was a medal, he saved all these people running back and forth in Vietnam, getting shot, just keep going. Like, the guy's amazing, but that that project became to me because I guess Blackbird Anthem, Adam Martin, the band, this is a music video. They were aware of my work, I guess, with veterans and doing veteran stuff. And so they came to me and said, "We want you to do a music video for this song." And so I had been working with Chad Campbell, who's amazing cameraman out of Dallas, who's shot most of my most recent films. So with incredible camera work, but it actually started with, you know, they wanted to do combat scenes. Was one of the hardest shoots I've ever had. I mean, we shot in Texas pretending like it was Vietnam, but like it was an all-night shoot. And, like the actors playing the soldiers were like dropping like it was Nam,
Yeah.
and like people were falling asleep out in the field, and it was just really hard. But like all my projects, I want to tell a story, and so when people come to me and they're like, "Oh, it's a music video," now I want it to mean something. I want to tell a story. I want to move people. So I'm not a big fan of just filming somebody playing a guitar. I want to make a movie. I want to,
Exactly.
So I want to make a story about what this song is about. And and this won an award at the Grand Ole Opry. It was the Josie Awards for social impact music video of the year. So it did really well. I think any of my projects are going. The goal is to affect people. I could care less about, the technical quality, just, tricking them with certain things, camera work. And it's more about what this is about and who it's about and making people feel a multitude of emotions. So
Right.
that's the running theme through all those projects. But yeah, no, I mean, I love that video. It's a great song. And I've done some other, veteran related commercials, and um, the Relentless Patriot, my documentary on Scott Lebedo, has a lot to do with veterans and first responders. So, um,
You had one of, I think, that one guy that was in the movie Battleship with his amputated legs, Wheelchairs
oh
for
yeah,
Warrior.
yeah, Greg Gatson.
Greg Gatson. Tell us what got you involved with that.
Yeah, so Crystal Larimore, I did a music video for Ryan Weaver called "Let's Talk About Heroes," and he I guess introduced me to Crystal Larimore, who runs a nonprofit called Wheelchairs for Warriors, where they give wheelchairs to wounded warriors, custom design wheelchairs. And we knew that we wanted him to be in this. We wanted Ryan to be in this. But I kind of came up with the script and the story idea about a buddy taking uh, his handicap, his friend who can't walk, out into the desert of Utah because he's a photographer because he wants to take pictures. Um, and the way he gets out there is through this wheelchair. And I thought it would be a great way to tell sort of the story of what Wheelchairs for Warriors does for veterans. So, but it's kind of funny, like, this is why I love directing, because I was I was sitting in, yeah, and then Alan West is does a little tag on the end. But I was sitting in Italy. I was in Italy on vacation, uh, and I came up with the idea for this commercial. And I basically had the idea of like shooting it in Utah. That would be so cool to go and just do this on the red rocks of Utah.
Right.
So this is what I love about filmmaking is you're sitting there and this idea comes to you, and then you have to kind of shape this idea into a story that makes sense, that has a beginning, middle, of an end, and with conflict and all these other things that really engage people. um, and then you go out and you try to figure out how to do it, and you get people to bring your vision to life, and then you get to see people affected by it. So it's that kind of round trip process that I love so much, and
Yeah.
that's to me why I do what I do. It's just bringing these ideas out into the world and shaping them and have people being affected by them. So
Yeah,
um,
it's awesome. I like. I've liked your work anyway, so you don't have to sell me, but yeah, I love your work. Anyways, as it is, the way you frame things, the way you have that cinematography look. You also did a video. We had Ryan Weaver on with us too before. This is the first. Is this the one that you did? You said about with first responders, right?
This is Let's Talk About Heroes.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is the music video for Ryan Weaver. I think they showed it on CMT, but this is a great song. Just and here we are. It's a music video, but we're sort of like telling a little story.
Yeah.
Um, and Ryan had a lot to do with the creation of this story. I mean, he actually came to me with all the ideas, and I just had to make it happen. He knew a lot of what he wanted, but I helped him sort of shape it into something that's like cinematic, and tells a story. Because these are non-professionals; they're not real actors; they're friends of ours,
Right.
but there's a way to get a performance out of people, um, even if they're not actors, and it's just telling them the right thing. So just I see a lot of videos that are done that are just really cheesy, and I think that because I have a background in narrative filmmaking, it helps with some of these music videos. Just try to
Yeah.
like m- make it come across like real life.
Yeah, Ryan and I served together in Iraq, so that's what.
Oh my God,
Yeah,
that's
yeah. So,
wow. I did not
yeah,
make that connection.
yeah.
That's
So that's why I
amazing.
was kind of like, oh shit, you got Ryan Weaver up there too, and you also
Yeah.
first responder stuff and all that. Okay, well let's get to the meat and potatoes now. You got an upcoming project coming up, right? That you wanted to talk about, or has it
Yeah.
already been released already?
Yeah, I mean, so I'm doing a documentary on my stepfather, Stuart Margolin.
Uh huh.
Um, so my mother was a parole officer. My real father was a sculptor from Italy. Now they got divorced, and when I was 2 years old, my stepfather my mom married Stuart Margolin, my stepfather, but he was Angel in the Rockford Files. He was
Oh, wow.
James Garner's sidekick.
Wow.
So 2 Emmy Awards, a career of like 60 years in film and television. He was in Kelly's Heroes. He was in Death Wish. He was in Days of Heaven. He was in a number of movies and almost every TV show that you can imagine from like the 70s. He was in MASH,
Oh,
Magnum
wow.
PI. He was a director. He directed Love Boat, and so huge career. And I had been making documentaries, especially starting in the pandemic, because in the pandemic I had to shut my company down in Midtown Manhattan. My partner Mark Caruso and we were doing corporate videos and all these other things to make money. We split our camera gear, so he took, we had two of everything. He took a camera, I took a camera, all this other stuff. And then in the pandemic, I was just bored and frustrated with sort of what was going on in the country, so I started shooting these documentaries. Now, I never interviewed my stepfather. I should have, I and then he passed away.
Right.
And I never interviewed him, but then I realized like he wouldn't have wanted to be on camera talking about himself
Right.
anyways. So I'm making this documentary about my stepfather, but it's really about character actors, these actors that are not leading man actors, but they, when you have great writing, like on the Rockford Files, and then you have like Stewart was a genius at playing the slimy characters, and he brought so much to the role. He was always getting James Garner in trouble, and there, the official James Garner fan page, I want to thank them, and also Gigi Garner, James Garner's daughter, who's executive producing this, have been so great sharing my post on social media. So
That's awesome.
but,
Well,
but
as we're speaking, the links of everything is being dropped in the chats, by the way. So as we're talking,
oh, cool.
So everything, the Facebook page, the Twitter page, everything. So
Yeah, we have a Indiegogo campaign going. We've already met our goal, and the goal is just to raise enough money to go shoot film interviews in LA of all these celebrities like that knew Stewart, like Ted Danson and Tom Selleck, David Chase, who was the creator of the Rockford Files, who
yeah.
also did The Sopranos, and there are people that worked on the Rockford Files, and so yeah, we've already met our goal, so we're going to be able to go to LA and do those interviews. And then
that's awesome.
there's a lot of clips that I have to license. We're going to need a lot of money for all that, but I can start shooting sort of a sizzle reel to raise the rest of the money for that documentary. But yeah, I want to do this on Stewart,
Yeah.
My brother's an actor, my sister's a costume designer. We're all in film, but we didn't have anything handed down to us on a silver spoon on a platter. Like we had this stepfather who was well known, but I worked every job on the film set from the bottom of the ladder doing like the crappiest jobs because I wanted to learn the craft of filmmaking, and so he definitely introduced us to cinema and to TV and filmmaking. But I think my brother and sister and we all just fell in love with it, and we just all wanted to do it for the right reason, and we never sort of asked for favors or anything like that. We all just wanted to cut our teeth and learn and work our way up. And Stuart had a great work ethic, um, which he got a lot from James Garner, which we're going to cover in this film a lot. That he
Awesome.
really looked up to James Garner. I got to work with Garner in LA on the remakes of the Rockford Files.
Oh, wow. Nice.
And yeah, and I was doing a really crappy job on that because I was young and I was a PA, and my job was So James Garner was notorious for, like, he was such a great guy, but he always wanted the film set to be cool, like to have a lot of AC. So he had these giant AC units running through the sets. So like these giant tubes that went through the building. And I had the crappiest job to pull all these dirty tubes through these buildings to get to the set to blow all this air onto the set to keep Garner cool. And it was the crappiest job, but I got to learn filmmaking. I got to work directly with him, and he was such a nice guy. Like,
Right.
um, uh, I always remember working on those movie of the weeks with Garner because the catering was the best food in LA. Like if we wanted a steak every day, you could have a steak every day. Because he got the best catering company for his
Oh,
crews
wow.
in LA. The food was outstanding. And, you know, now we live in an age where you see these movies like Rust where like, someone's getting shot because they hired some cheapo who doesn't know what they're doing.
Mm-hmm.
And, they work 18 hours and everyone's tired, guns are going off, people are getting killed. Now everyone's hungry, like we live in a world with like these scumbag producers like to cut corners, to line their own pockets, because when they save money, guess where it goes? It goes in their
It goes in their
pocket.
pocket. Exactly that. Yeah.
So like, and then accidents are happening. So like this film is also gonna explore the golden age of television where you got these real pros like Stewart and Garner who respected the crew, the workers who did the work, and they just took a lot of pride in what they do. And I think we've lost that kind of grace and work ethic. It's just Hollywood is sort of like imploding on itself right now.
Oh, yeah.
Everyone's quitting and picking new jobs and new fields, and so it's a tough time. So and with everything going on with AI and everything, like there's no way you could create a prompt for Stuart Margolin to get the kind of performance that he did, So
Correct.
it's this is proof that the human element can go so much beyond
Right.
what any kind of other actor could replicate. I mean, they're actually remaking the Rockford Files as
Yep.
we speak
Yep.
on NBC right now, and the timing is perfect, and of course, all these fans that I'm talking to of the Rockford Files, they want a Stewart character.
Mm-hmm.
Some don't. Like some really hate Stewart. Like they're.
It's always it's almost
It's
like
amazing.
it's almost
It's
like
amazing.
yeah, it's like when you watch those buddy cop, there's always that one villain or that one guy that's in all TV shows. You know him, you don't know his name, you don't freaking know, but he's like either the sidekick or the comic relief or the bad guy or the villain or whatever in all the 70s 80s genre, Airwolf, Rockford Files, A-Team. They're just all in that. It's almost like they're in their own universe, like Marvel, you know what I mean? It's all in it. I mean, not to use Marvel as an example, but it's like, hey, I see that bad guy. He was on MASH. Oh, I see that guy. He was on Rockford Files. Oh, I saw that guy. He was an Airwolf. Oh, I saw that guy. He was chatting up with Ernest Borgnine and whatever, the classic 70s, 80s aesthetic for TV. I love that. That's, and how could you not forget the Firebird? You know what I mean? That's to me I don't know. It's just, for me, you doing this is bringing some nostalgia to me growing up watching the Rockford Files with my dad. You know what I mean? And
the writing was so good. I mean, like if anyone wrote like this today, there are people getting fired because of it. It's like, it's just it was so good. And
yeah, it was.
But I wanted to tell you I get these messages from people that like they can't get beyond how like scummy Angel was.
Mm-hmm.
And I get these messages and they're like, oh, I hate that character. I hate that actor. Now, 95% of the fans love Stewart.
Correct.
But there's like this, it's so funny. There's these small 5%. that just they hate Stewart because of how well he played Angel, and
Yeah.
I don't even know how to respond to these things. They're so awkward when I get them because like they don't know that he's
Dad, yeah, your dad.
my
Your
dad,
dad, yeah.
and that he's also dead, you know,
Yeah.
and it's like I can't get mad. I can only laugh
Mhm.
because it just shows how well Stewart played the role,
Right,
you
right.
know, because they can't even distinguish like you need characters like that's what the character actor does is he makes even though you don't like him sometimes he brings out certain aspects of the protagonist like
Yes. Yes.
it shows how loyal James Garner is to a friend
Mhm.
even though the friend is constantly screwing him so
Yeah, he's
when
annoying. He's an annoying friend, but he's a friend, and you're seeing that. I mean, to
you
play
you
somebody
take it
annoying, it's emotional already to some people. You know what I mean?
You take but if you take him away, if you take Stewart out of the equation, it like I think Garner is a less, you know, dimensional character.
Mhm.
So yeah, but anyways, I'm making this film. It's gonna be super cool. You know, we've made our deadline, but of course we need a lot more money. So if anyone feels like supporting, go to the just Google everybody's angel and the Indiegogo will show up and you can be in the credits, you can be part of it. But I'm really thankful to like there's some real diehard Rockford Files
Oh yeah.
fans. And those are the ones that helped us make this goal.
Yeah, well, that link, Indiegogo link is in the chats. By the way, it's
Oh,
on
cool.
all our
Thank you.
platforms. Instagram is not a live platform. You have to set it up, whatever. But Twitter right now, we're live on Twitter, we're live on YouTube, and we're live on Facebook. 2 Facebook pages, 2 YouTube pages, and Twitter. So people are seeing this.
That's
So,
awesome. Good.
yeah.
Good.
I remember somebody just said he's like Hector, the Latino actor that always plays Hector. He's always,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? That's a good. I like that. I like that comparison.
Yeah.
But so then once this happens, who do you need help with outside of funds? Like, do you need editors? Do you need
Yeah.
gaff, guys with, to help out, to help you, do you need, vehicles? Is there anything you need as far as filming it itself? Only so we can put the call out.
Well, I mean, the money is always the hard thing, and you know, once the money comes in, then I've got an incredible team
Okay.
to execute it. But you know, I mean, if anyone wants to get into film, they can definitely reach out to me at triplemartiniproductions.com. I love helping military veterans that want to get into film and first responders. But yeah, I mean, to answer your question, yeah, we're always looking for something. If I feel really sorry for all my friends who are friends of a filmmaker because I'm always asking for things, you know.
I was going to ask you what that we just got back from San Diego Comic-Con, and just seeing the environment there, with all the films with Marvel and DC and all that. Is there a sense in Hollywood to where, like you were saying, people are leaving and all that? Is it the writers that are taking off? They're leaving. Is it the editors? Is it the cinematographer? Is it the directors? What's driving? What's emptying Hollywood, I should say.
Hmm. Oh, I think it's so many factors. I think like you have to mention the whole woke thing, you know, like you have to mention that because when these big companies go woke, then all the people that don't fit into that narrative are left on the sidelines, you know,
Right.
and it's like, you know, I didn't really want to talk about politics, but you kind of have to make this point. Also, you know, like when uh you know, also like it has a lot to do with like where it's cheap to film, you know,
Gotcha.
because if like, you know, if the local politicians are making it really difficult to productions to stay in certain cities like LA or New York or whatever, then people are going to go elsewhere. And then if you can't find them in the rural states or elsewhere, they're going to go to Europe or they're going to go to Canada. So it's like, you know, it's so funny. Like people they really hate Trump, right? And and look, I'm not. Honestly, I'm kind of over all the politics.
Of course, of
I'm
course.
getting back into like out of the political realm and back into sort of straight up cinematic filmmaking like I always wanted to do. But, when you hear producers talk about how, the tax credits that he created to get you to shoot in the United States, all of them say that was a great idea, so to keep our productions here. So it has there's a lot of factors, but also like, you know, AI is gonna
Yeah, I wanted to ask you your take on AI because it's
well, if I gotta tell you, okay, you want to know my take on AI? I'll tell you.
Go for it.
If it so I've as a filmmaker, I've always been like a one-man band. I mean, you saw Trooper.
Yeah.
I was like acting, directing. I was
Mhm.
like acting and holding the mic. No, I didn't do that, but I, but like pretty much everything. And because I get so impatient if I can't make a movie right away. Like I don't like anyone giving me permission. I don't like waiting. I like just like going out there and doing it. And sometimes like if people are too slow to get me what I need, I have to learn how to do what they do it, to just get it done. And so like I'm always like doing this, doing that, and like putting on so many different hats. And it's kind of a joke how many hats I wear. But AI like helps speed that up for me personally. So like, especially when I'm like, just pitching, like I'm just trying to pitch a movie to get money. Like
Right.
I can do research, I can do pitch decks. I don't have to spend a week reading a book, blah 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 blah. It feeds me back what I need to know. I hate writing synopsises. I don't know why. I just hate doing it. It's like I love writing the script. I don't need any help writing the script, except for research, and I use AI for research, but I hate writing synopsis. So it's great. It just spits you out a synopsis. It's great.
Yeah, no,
And
yeah, for
why
analytics,
why
yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
like in photos, it's like I am actually for my film school, I'm writing a script in my screenwriting course, and I'm creating AI videos to show you the scenes that I'm creating in my
Yeah.
head
Yeah, you're doing
that I
that.
haven't even shot yet. So
Yeah,
for like
you're doing the animatics for it. For the
for
storyboards. Visualization. Yep,
visualization,
exactly.
it's like it's genius.
Right.
It's like you have to use it. I mean, I can get from point A to point B where it would have taken me months and months and months. I could do it in days or weeks, and like it's just an incredible resource. Now, AI actors, okay, so as a filmmaker, I love AI. Now, if I was an actor, if I was a voiceover actor, forget it. I'd be changing careers, but if I was an actor, I would be worried, but I wouldn't be too worried because, like, okay, I know the technology is going to get better and better, but you do watch some of this, and I just think there's no way that you could recreate what I've seen certain actors do.
Right.
May,
Right.
maybe they're going to do that quickly, but I don't even care. I want to make films with real people, and I want to use AI as part of the means to get there, in the preparation and everything. And I want to use AI for a little bit of the stuff that I can't afford. Some of the shots that are gonna like don't let me remind me to talk a little bit about this, my period movie that I just finished writing that I'm looking for the money for right now. But um, some of these really expensive shots, you can do them on CGI or AI or something. So you have to embrace it, but you shouldn't. I mean, you shouldn't be worried. But I think that's why people are quitting. Back to what we were talking
Right.
about. I think it's like it's overwhelming what we're like. The production slowed down. Now AI is like taking over certain jobs, and um, just I think people are jaded. The storytelling sucks. It's like, why am I doing this? I hate the kind of parts I'm going up against. I hate working on these movies that suck constantly. It's not stuff that I would never want to watch.
Right.
Like, so I think it's like it's so many different things. But I have too much invested in this career. I just love filmmaking. I love cinema. I truly love it. I mean, Ingmar Bergman said, "Cinema is my mistress,"
Yes.
and I
Yes.
I can relate to that because no matter what happens, or like, you know, I haven't had like an amazing career. I've never gone to Sundance, like in that sense. So I'm still learning. I'm still grinding. I'm still trying to do better, and that's why I love it, because I don't need to be at Sundance. I don't need to have an Oscar. What I need is to make a great fucking movie.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly.
And that's
Exactly.
it.
Exactly. And a lot of the things I always tell people when I don't mind AI when it's something to augment, like you were saying, like imagine like large sweeping Roman soldiers. You can't fucking do that. You can't hire thousands of extras to portray themselves as, a Roman legion. You can't. So you have no choice. Either you do CGI, which uses AI in itself to render the characters, or you kind of like obscure it a little bit to where you are using AI, but you're not showing the audience the intricacies of it, so it looks fake. So it looks, you know what I mean? And I always tell people that I have an aversion to AI on some aspects, but not others. But like when it's a straight, it's straight graphic that to me it looks like an old, Mad Magazine, poster. I was like, nah, that it's gonna evolve.
Yeah.
I know it's gonna evolve.
Yeah.
But yeah, you're right. I mean, when I do my film editing, I'm the same way. I don't mind using AI to help me edit, but I won't use it to replace a human. I won't use it to like whatever. So, and then with the way, pick your, Adobe or Final Cut, now there's so many plugins, it does it for you. You don't have to worry about, spending time and money to get a CGI guy to do it.
So no, I totally agree with you. So I just adapted. Like, someone hired me, and I don't want to talk too much about this project, but this is going to be the biggest movie. This is going to be the biggest movie I've ever made.
That's what I'm talking about.
But
I'm pumped. You don't have to say anything.
No,
I'm pumped.
no, I'm like, I'm getting ready to make an 8 million. This will be my biggest. I have directed a 2 million, but this will be my biggest, and it's period 20. So, and it shoots in multiple countries. So this is going to be an enormous movie. I don't want to get too into it because I want to come back on when I'm ready to let the cat out of the bag. I want to come back on and tell you everything. But I'm just going to tease you a little bit now. So, I was hired to adapt a book. An amazing gentleman hired me to adapt a book that he wrote, which is his dad's true story about coming to America. But it's a love story, and there's a lot more to the story that I can't even talk about.
No, that's okay.
But
I can only imagine.
It's one of the best scripts I've ever written. So
awesome.
But it's a period 20s movie, and
I love that. That's an awesome time period.
We're going to shoot in Paris, in Italy, in a small town in Italy, New York, Massachusetts, and then back to what we're saying, like tax credits and where to shoot. It's cheap. We don't know where we're going to shoot our soundstage and all our interiors and stuff. So it's going to come down to which city offers us the best deal. So like, is it Salt Lake City? Is it Austin? Is
Right.
it, but hate to say it, I am America first, but it's like I need to get this done on on a low budget, and we're looking at Prague, Czechoslovakia, because it has our locations. It's like we can save money by shooting there. So like, yeah, I'm literally going through it. But back to like AI, I've written this story because I made Trooper for 60 grand, and I know that when I write something, I'm like always like, Chris, don't screw yourself.
Mhm.
Don't screw yourself, because if I write something that's going to be too expensive or like too hard to shoot,
Right.
then I'm screwing myself. So I've written the script that has a lot of interiors that is very self-contained, that so that when we go outside for the period stuff, it's not so complicated,
Mhm.
right? But there's a big ship in the movie, right?
Oh, wow.
There's this giant ship that's a 20 ship. So it's like, but my story's very small,
Mhm.
right? But then it goes huge,
Yeah, 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 yeah.
right? And it's like, when it goes huge, I'm not gonna have the money to try to, like, you know what I mean?
Mhm.
So it's like
Yeah.
AI, yes, yes, of course, AI,
Well, I
it's
mean,
like,
nobody. How do I say this? I do say to AI assist. James Cameron would not have made Titanic the way he made Titanic without the use of CGI, which used AI to render. And that's what I tell people all the time. It's like, that's a form of artificial intelligence already. And people will argue with me and say, no, it's not, blah, blah, blah. The actual artists that did this, I'm like, no, because once they did it and once they rendered it, that from there, once it's a render, then it goes through its process and it's AI assisted. So yeah. Oh man, I'm
yeah.
excited. I'm excited.
Well, Cameron built a lot of that ship in a soundstage, which with water and stuff, and like we won't have like we are going to build stuff in a soundstage, but we're not going to be able to build a ship. So he had like a lot of money to do a lot of stuff and combine that with CGI. But we're
Mhm.
going to do some similar stuff where like, you know, you have the shot of the actor, but it's sort of the plate behind the different layers of background, which are digital. Like usually the way they do it is they film you, the actor, and then there's some kind of real set element right
Correct.
directly
Yep.
behind you, and then
Yep.
in the two layers of background, you usually see digital
Yep.
creations if
Yep.
it's like a city or something else,
Correct.
so we're gonna have to do a little bit of that,
You have to do
right?
like Gangs in New
And
York, how Gangs in New York did too. How they did that
yeah,
that type
yeah.
small foreground, and then the background was obviously digital to fit that
So
skyline.
now I can't talk about this, but
Stop! I
the
don't want to get you in
so
trouble.
the guy who is shooting my movie has shot Oscar-winning movies that you've seen, that we've all seen.
Awesome.
He's big, and I can't mention his name
That's okay.
yet
It's okay.
until the cat's ready to come out of the bag.
Yeah.
But we want to shoot on film, so we might shoot on film, 35 millimeter
Nice.
film, and my editor has won an Oscar. Um, this is big. This is going to be my biggest project.
I
So,
can't wait. Can't
but
wait.
but but one thing is that I don't think AI is quite there yet with sort of like the codec and shooting on like log and
Mhm.
all this kind of stuff. So it's like it's got to it has a long way to go,
Correct.
I think,
Correct.
before it can really be used as a professional format. I mean, I'm sure they're working on it. I'm sure maybe they've already figured that out, but because we're shooting on film, that also adds another layer of complexity to how to integrate that, digitally after you shoot on
Oh
film.
yeah.
But
That's how
I'm gonna figure.
My editing world started with the old school clipping machines and
Oh, me too.
Yeah. So that I'll be honest with you, I'm kind of cool. I keep the film away from me. I don't want to deal with that shit no more. You know what I mean? Especially when you fuck up an edit, you're like, God damn it. So yeah. Yeah. I've had that happen. Yeah. Chris,
My first editing
go ahead.
job was cutting 35 millimeter film, like actual film.
Mm-hmm.
It was an Olsen twins movie, and I was hired as an editor's trainee, and we cut it on like a moviola, like a reel to reel. It was like actual film, and our editing, and it was like the two Olsen twins. They were like this big, and like they had these little high pitched, like squeaky voices. The editor was like going crazy because we sunk up these annoying voices like in the editing room. They took like months and months and months, and then our editing room flooded.
Oh shit. Oh.
And we had to do it all again. And I think the editor may have been his last film job after that. But
oh man. Chris, thank you once again for coming out and hanging and shooting the shit with me. Next time we won't wait for so many years to go by.
No, Ken, forgive me for taking this long to
No. This was good. Like I said, we needed to catch up. You and I have talked about before we went on air. We need to catch up anyways, personally, to go hang out and do stuff. It's been years, and I mean, I've always been a fan anyway. So, but yeah. So guys, Christopher Martini, the extraordinaire previous guest of W.T.F. Nation Radio, a versatile director and cinematographer from Dallas, Texas, boasts a rich background as a child actor and an NYU film graduate. Look at you, hoity-toity. Make sure you guys look at all the links that we put in all the chats. So on the Facebook pages, on the YouTube pages, and on Twitter or X, you go ahead and click on those stuff. Support the project. He is the proprietor of Triple Martini Productions, and I'm pumped that you're back, man, and I'm glad you're in the game. So,
Ken, thanks so much for having me. This is great.
Yeah. You got anything to say before we cut out?
No, just go to the movies. Go watch movies in the theaters, or they're not going to be there, and then you're going to be trapped in your living room wishing you had a movie theater to go take your family to, but you're not going to be able to because the movies are going to shut down.
Yeah, exactly.
The theaters. So go to the movies.
With that, y'all have a good night. I'm going to go ahead and cut it from here. Me and Chris are going to shoot the shit behind the scenes. And with that, thank you guys for attending the Monday edition for tonight. And shout out again to Christopher Martini, writer, director, and producer, for hanging out. Y'all have a good night. See you.
Awesome, Ken. That was so good. Thank you.
Yeah, dude. This is, hang on, let me change cameras.
Hell is a candle, not a big fireplace. It's a girl with blonde hair and tears down her face. It's a lack of emotion, but the devil's so warm, with a sense of elation and souls being torn. Thought she was the problem, but I came to find that the thorns and the horns had always been mine. The devil in you and the devil in me are just part of the problem, as problems tend to be. You don't need to explain, we can both feel the pain. It's alright to lose faith, just don't lose this embrace, this devil in me. This devil in me. Yeah, he met with my mother, said he's the son of a guy, and anybody who knows him is destined to rhyme. Plays the blues like he owns it, and breaks hearts like it's fine. But a lock is away when he's found the wine. And he's cursed to the psycho, but he won't know he's there, since I won't let him die until his moment of despair. Oh, it's alright to lose faith, just don't lose this embrace, this devil in me. This devil in me.
Hey, this is SEAC retired John Wayne Troxel. You're listening to WTF Nation Radio, the station of choice for all of the badass MFers on the planet.
The voice of U.S. Army, WTF Moments. This is WTF Nation Radio.
Nothing feels the same. Let it all be
Я батько.
Я молодший брат. Я водій маршрутки. Я скоро одружуся. Я фанат Шахтера.
Начальник отдела продаж.
Я прораб.
Я программист.
Я свидетель на свадьбе.
Дядя Юра, таксист. Я вчитель фізкультури.
Я студент-геолог.
У мене своя фірма.
Я кращий друг зі школи.
Я сусід, який завжди стукає по батареї.
Я єдиний син.